Hi guys, Jackie with Famished Farm. It is September 3rd, and guess what? It was 65 degrees overnight. So it still feels cool. I just got off the treadmill, got dressed, and time to get out into the garden. And let's show you an early September garden tour. Come on, let's get going. Welcome to Northwest Alabama, where it is a cool summer morning. Does this mean fall is coming? Gosh, we certainly hope so. So this is kind of a quick overview of my little garden plot. That big mess right there in the center is my cherry tomatoes. I am a bumper cherry tomato producer. And then this is just a couple quick shots of some of the pollinators that are around. That's some kind of bee there. Lots of butterflies flitting around. These are visiting my marigolds right here. That's right in front of the cherry tomatoes. And then this yellow butterfly takes off for the peanut bed right next door. It was so beautiful out there this morning. This is underneath the trellises. These are Latham raspberries with some strawberries growing down below them. And I've got this one seems to be under a little more heat stress, or maybe I just wasn't shooting enough water onto it. They are not on the sprinkler hoses. And then ending here with my elderberry. And then I pop up onto the straw bales at the end of this run, and these were supposed to all be Romas and San Marzano paste tomatoes, and turned out the farmer's market plant that I got that was supposed to be an Amish paste tomato was another cherry tomato. So I've got two cherry tomatoes that should have been Romas. I plan on making some more of the freezer pizza sauce, and I'll be doing that with all of these cherry tomatoes. And just another view of the raised beds there. And then we pop back to the blueberries that are just past the Romas and the San Marzanos. That is my best producing blueberry. And then this is one I planted 2 summers ago. It's doing okay. New growth. And then I show you the two little blueberries I put in this year that were clearance blueberries. And that one looks okay. This one looks like it's on the way out. Doesn't look good. And then this one behind is the blueberry that has never really produced very much for me. And I don't know why. If you guys have any ideas, it shows up little green blueberries all over the plant early in the season that never mature. If you know, leave a comment for me. Okay, let's look into these planter boxes a little more thoroughly. This is the peanuts that I grew, Virginia peanuts, and we're just going to wait for these plants to start to die back, and then all the pods are supposed to be down below. I think of the 20 or 25 peanuts we planted, 5 came up. This is a little better look at all of those cherry tomatoes that I have at this point kind of quit cutting back. It's a mess. And then this is the damage I'm having to my tomatillos, and I believe it's from a new to me bug called the leaf-footed bug. And they are just sucking everything out of those pods, and all of the little husks are basically empty. Here's about 3 contender green beans that are producing very nicely. The one in the middle's doing fantastic. The other 2 are a little behind. And then these are some new plants I just put in that should have time to mature before we hit our first frost. This is a cucumber. That's a pepper plant, an Anaheim pepper to the front there that I'm moving back. And that I'm pointing to is supposed to be a cucumber too. It does not look like a cucumber to me, so we'll just be surprised by what comes up. Next trellis over are some rattlesnake pole beans, And these are getting munched on by something. I'm going to put some more DE powder out. And this is mammoth snow peas that are going to be hopefully coming up on that trellis. And then speaking of the trellis, I'm going to kind of stand back a little bit here so you can see what that trellis looks like. Those are the concrete ladders that I got at Home Depot. And I plan on converting those to use for my winter garden. And we'll use those as the supports for the row covers once I need to put those on. Over on the side of the house, these are the one of the 4 buckets I had for lettuces, and I just planted out some new lettuce to go with that Swiss chard that is just nonstop. These are the basil, parsley, and mint plants that my dog has allowed to live. There's one really wilty basil there that she tipped over yesterday. All of the empty pots are pots that she has pretty much killed or somehow broken the plants. The dills were in the blue pots there. It's a couple onions I've got going. And then this is just a view coming from the other direction. This is actually, I'm walking up from the south side of the property. This is my strawberry bed right to the right here. The strawberries are pretty much all dead. Not sure if the heat got to them or I overwatered. And then in front of us here is the pumpkins where I had the squash and the Three Sisters plot. The pumpkin is still growing. The watermelon's still growing. They're just not producing. And my poor cracked bird bath that is hanging on for another season. I need to get that fixed. And over to the south-facing side of the house, these are Suffolk grape plants. This one on the right is doing fantastic, but I have decided to move those come fall. And then in the center here of this arbor is on the right, an improved Meyer lemon, which is producing one little lemon somewhere. I'm trying to find it. And I pan up a little. Oh, there he is. And it's a Key West lime then on the left side. And then as I pan down to the second Suffolk grape, there is some more rust or something on this plant, or it could be sun, who knows, some kind of scald. I'm just not sure. If you know, leave me a comment. But all in all, they look pretty good. And then I'm going to move back over to the garden plot, and these are 2 new rain barrels our county extension office was giving out, and both my husband and I were lucky enough to get one. They had a little drawing that everybody in attendance basically won, so we're thrilled. We're going to be getting those hooked up to the gutter there on the shed, and eventually we'll be putting a table on each of those rain barrels so we can lift them up so we can get watering cans underneath them. We're lucky on both sides of the shed where these are sitting now. There are already in place little concrete pads, so that works great. So that is my quick update for the 3rd of September. Starting to plant for a winter garden and not having much luck. So we'll see what's growing in the garden come October, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.